Crikey. 300 easy. Inside boat.
Christmas greetings to you. It's Dolly from Kyneton Paranormal. If you're about to start the holidays, don't go on a boat or a ship or a surfboard. Oh, don't even go on that Spirit of Tasmania because that's hideous. What do they call that? The vomit vessel. In fact, just stay in the pool. Grab a floaty. Grab a beer. Careful, though, because beer does make you queer. However, don't go in the sea on a boat because you are fish food. Yes, indeedy, you may not be eaten, but you may be attacked and you may be drowned down to the bottom of the sea, wherever the hell that is, by a blue circle-tailed mermaid person-looking creature with a lot of teeth that move faster than shit stock in a Myer stock take sale. I mean it. It's summer in Australia, perfectly miserable overseas. But it's not all good, Aussies. This session is all about the marine Sulphur Queen, a 500 feet long converted tanker carrying molten sulphur. Whatever the hell that is. Sounds hot. Sounds like third-degree burns. But a huge ship that vanished without a trace in the Bermuda Triangle in 1963. And Kayla and I have just spoken to a lot of the 39 crew in spirit. And their messages to us were, don't go into the sea. Stay on the beach. Pop your zinc on. Make a sandcastle. Look at the ocean liners going past. Look at that hideous Spirit of Tasmania. And just wave. I worked on that Spirit of Tasmania for about 6 seasons. Vomited the whole time. Oh, dearie me. What a disaster that was. It was good though, but oh no, not good when you don't have sea legs. Anyway, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my loyal listeners. Too few to mention, but I love you. You're the only ones I can speak to about these mental yental moments I'm having with spirits. I was at the family do the other day. My brother wants to retire, buy a yacht and sail around the world. And I just knew that if I said, Bruce, not a good idea, mate. I have spoken to a lot of people from boats that have gone missing and you have no idea. You think the only thing that might get you is a 30-metre wave and a slap from your partner for dragging you on this sea of misery. But let me tell you, but I didn't tell him because, quite frankly, he wouldn't have believed me. My whole family, they just would have scoffed, stared at me. My mother would have twitched and gone into her little rant of something about, I don't know, the rare tit that she hasn't seen. She's pretty close to death, and I'll probably be speaking, to her more regularly via the spirit box than I have in life, but there you go. You guys, I just want to thank you here because you're here for me, so thank you. Anyway, before we get into tonight's deep mental dive, quick question. Have you watched my Mary Celeste video yet on the Kyneton Paranormal YouTube channel? Because if you haven't, this case is very similar. Mermaids took them. And no, not Disney mermaids. No Ariels singing on a rock, brushing their Daryl Hannah hair. I love Daryl Hannah back in the... Where's she gone? Does anyone know where Daryl Hannah is? Is she still alive? No, I'm being nice. I love Daryl Hannah. Anyway, I'm talking vicious, territorial, sucker-mouthed ocean beasties with absolutely no intent in sharing their patch of water. That's not Disney, is it? It's honestly starting to feel like Disney knew about mermaids all along. They just forgot to mention the bad breath, the attitude, and the lifelong grudges. Sounds like an ex of mine. Sounds like my current partner. Before anyone rolls their eyes, just pause and think about how many ships and boats vanish, get found abandoned, or disappear completely without explanation. When you line these cases up, patterns start showing themselves, whether you're comfortable with that or not. I mean, there is a thing called the Bermuda Triangle, isn't there? And the marine Sulphur Queen, really bad drag queen name. Hello, my name's Marine Sulphur Queen, marine by day, queen by night. Well, it was right smack in Bermuda Triangle territory. One of the first ships that went missing. So how could a 500 feet long converted tanker Well, she was converted because she was a bit of a workhorse in the war, delivering fuel, and her new bosses thought it would be a good idea to chuck some hot sulphur in and deliver it to New Zealand. I don't know. I made that up. I just know there's a volcano in New Zealand. Anyway, now this old queen, like most drag queens, was a bit corroded, a bit snarky, a bit rusty, especially with the ship jokes, a bit prone to backache, hair loss, weight gain around the girth. But, you know, she did her job. In fact, when she didn't come home, several loved ones of the missing crew sued the company, said the boat was a floating garbage can. Bit harsh. Said she was as seaworthy as Popeye. There were 39 people on board. 39. There was no distress call, no mayday, no radio transmission, and here's the part that kicks. No debris was ever found, except for a floaty or something like that. There was nothing. There was no wreckage. There was no bodies, no lifeboats. So what happened? Well, the ship didn't partially sink. It didn't break apart and scatter pieces across the ocean. It simply vanished completely. Official explanations tried to blame structural failure, sulphur gas, explosions, bad weather, but none of those theories explain how a ship that size, with that many people on board, could disappear without leaving a single trace. And when something doesn't add up, that's when I start poking it around with a spirit box. I'm really very upset that my audio that day we spoke to the crew simply wasn't on, and it was one of the clearest sessions we have. So unlike the marine sulphur, I have managed to salvage some of the audio, which takes all of me out, which is a good thing, let's face it. And just as Kayla being the voice on the spirit box, she had a lot of spirits talking to her, including a Ross. And I looked it up, and there was a Ross on the crew. They recount the moment as it happened, the crew. It's incredible. As the captain saw the thing in the ocean, tried to turn his boat around, several crew running inside to make a mayday call but not being able to get through. And that's fact. That was no mayday. So that was interesting. Then they were shooting their way out of the cabin. It's amazing. It's like watching a film of exactly what happened, with their screams and their mayhem, and they're talking to each other, shouting, trying to find solutions to combat whatever the hell was attacking them, something they've never, ever seen before. And there was over 300, apparently. So if you've been following my work, you'll know this isn't a one-off. As I mentioned, the Mary Celeste, but also the MV Joyita. It was found abandoned, partially submerged, crew missing, radio still tuned to a distress frequency. No storm big enough to explain it. No clear session for everyone to leave. And yes, a YouTube video on the Joyita is coming very soon, because what came through in that session was wild. Not pirates, not accidents. Drag queen mermaids. Big ones. And also there's the Kaz II. Now, Aussie people should know this one. This is a good Aussie mystery. The missing Queensland-Australian yacht found drifting completely on its own, sails shredded, engine still running, food still on board, but no crew. All 3 men gone. No struggle, no explanation, just a boat sailing on as if it had been spat back out by the ocean once again. Calm conditions, no storm, no radio cries for help. And yes, we spoke to the spirits connected to that one too. And what came through, oh my lordy bordy, so clear. 3 guys retired 2 days into their sail, and then bang, out of the mist, these nasty mermaids. Well, they described them. Oh, and apparently they hum. So if you want to hear that session in full, you can just go over to my YouTube channel, Kyneton Paranormal, or guess what? I'm going to pop those 2 sessions on at the end of this one. I'm going to pop on the Kaz II video, just download it and pop the audio on the end. And also I'll pop on the Mary Celeste as well. So you don't have to. You don't have to stop your driving. You don't have to turn on the TV. You can just listen, all right? I think you'll get the message that there's a lot of things happening out in the ocean that we don't know about. Oh, also a quick side note. Oh, what's this music doing? Shut up! Now, quick side note. and a genuine apology. I also spoke to the crew of the Linda E, which one of my lovely subscribers from Michigan asked me to look into. Hello, Michigan, how you doing? Now, the video completely vanished without a trace, which is a shame, as the crew that spoke to me was so descriptive of their attack. So what was the Linda E? A lot of you wouldn't have heard of this. Linda E was a 40-foot commercial fishing tug operating out of Port Washington, Wisconsin on Lake Michigan. And she was a small but experienced working vessel, not a pleasure one, and on board were 3 men. Well, we spoke to the captain, indeed, Liam. Leif, I think his name was. So when the boat failed to return, a search was launched. Nothing was found at the time, but it was discovered 2 years later, lying at the bottom of Lake Michigan by a Navy minesweeper. And there you go. They had no idea what happened. There was no crew, no idea. Apparently the crew were all experienced and cautious. So we spoke to Leif, the captain, in spirit, and he came through really, really clearly. He corrected me how I pronounced his name. I think I called him Leif. He said Leif. I said, sorry, mate. It was a similar attack. He called them sea monsters. I tried to pull him in again for a follow-up, but honestly, he and his wife just wanted to be left alone, which is fair enough, eating fish and chips at sunset, not looking at them, and fair enough. So if you've crossed over and finally get peace, I'm not about to drag you back for content. Sometimes spirits, they don't want answers. They just want dinner and a view. This case fits the pattern. Calm conditions, no clear reason, and descriptions of things in the water that absolutely shouldn't exist, but apparently do. So at this point, if a vessel vanishes and no one's mentions something large, aggressive, and not entirely human, I'd honestly be surprised. Which brings us back to the Marine Sulphur Queen, not the drag queen Marine Sulphur. In this session, we connected with the captain, the radio operator, and crew energies linked to the ship. What they described was terrifying. Panic, confusion, sudden danger, and the overwhelming sense that there was nowhere to escape. So let's get into it, shall we? I'll shut up. I'm going to play some of that Spirit Box session. I'm all kind of edited out, and we just hear Kayla being their voice. Enjoy your fish and chips as you listen. And then we're going to play the Mary Celeste and the Kaz II.
Seagulls. There. South to port. Go up. I'm trying. I said, that's not bad. How are you, mate? Hopefully we'll hear something more challenging. Right there. See? That. Right there. It's out over there. And they were fucking laughing. I tried to stop. It's big. What's that? Turn the boat around. It's coming up. Something's in the center. It's how aggressive. Men, run. It's coming through. In the waves. Robert.
Radio officer is Robert McDonald.
Oh shit. It's on board. Strange as shit. Good afternoon, Alex. Get in the ocean. We have to go. This one took us. Mermaids. People. I think so. Fish, mate. Fuck me. Get in the water. That was the first one. Swam. Get overboard. I think I swam. 7 or 8. I drowned. I swam for an hour. Men. Swim. They see us. 8 pairs. The reef take. They're fused with fish. Weird. People. Arnie. Gone. Swam. There are special. Shoot. People remained. Second turn. We're good. Hundreds. Out of the sun. So many. Shoot 3. One of them floated to the top. They were skilled. Thousands disappeared. They're skilled workers. They weren't walking very well. They had no feet, more like station after death circles. They had tail, circle, crikey, 300 easy, inside boat. What we got is this, drowned, over the side. It was messy. And we wrote, I just heard humming. Terrible. Ross. Yeah, shoot them, mate. Shoot them. Explode. Blue. Paralyzed. I just heard a scream. Radio. Reactor. Still one. Stayed through. One, wait, one here. Radio. Do you think I'll go right now? Hello. Hello. Another man screamed. Can't get through. They don't. Fish! We on the ship. 07. We're in a bit of a... Can someone... Here. Is anyone... No radio. Say when. I guess. That's the end. Here we go. It's time. Unbelievable. Make sure that everyone we kill must include... Here we go. 4, 3... You say when. Let's do this. Go. Now see. Victim. Run. One after. Every chance. Shit. I missed it. Shit. It's got me. Oh man. Blood. Jeez. God. Struggling. The confusion. Another question. Sunken. We're sinking. Changing. It's coming close. Scared. I see them. Go. Instant pain. Help me. They're strong. Eating. 200. Before they eat. They must. Drown. I don't know how you do it. They don't do that. I don't want you. Go on boats again.
I'm not going on a boat again, no. I hear you, my darling.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, no way. No, thank you. No, I'm hearing a story and I'm not going to choose.
Please stay up. Love. I just heard another scream. Thank you. 30. Because they have to summon us. They do have high blood pressure. Well, that was. Show everybody. Any more questions? I appreciate it. Love you, Dolly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Sarah from Yowie Central. Dolly is my paranormal pal, and she is dying for you all to listen to my podcast because it's a howler.
A whole lot of them panel.
That was a lot.
That was about 39 or something.
Yeah, they were all talking. The way they were kind of doing it, they were kind of reliving it to show you. Some of them were talking as well, what was happening.
Yeah.
But most of all, it was just kind of showing.
They were showing you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then kind of, yeah, it was kind of a lot of, again, a lot of things crawling along the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of jumping from different people's perspectives. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people were talking and trying to show me things at once.
Okay.
Yeah, when they were talking about like their tails and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like they had like kind of like fat circular long-ish tails that kind of went out into a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them tried to get into lifeboats and get out, and then they kind of found them and dragged them down anyways.
Yeah.
Some people stayed on the ship and got dragged down. Someone tried to get a radio
Signal through.
Yeah, that didn't work. So he ended up going out.
4, 3, 2, 1 was that?
They were counting down to go out
To what?
to try and shoot a couple of them because they were like, oh, this is it.
Okay.
They knew they were going to die. So they're like, oh, okay, this is it. Make sure each one we kill.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they kind of ended up running out and try and kill a couple of them before they were brought down with the ship.
I wonder why it was starting to sink
Well, they said it got into the center of it.
into this.
Yeah, they said it in the center when one of the first ones got on.
One of the things got in the center of the ship.
So I don't know if it made a hole in the ship and it started to sink.
Oh, okay. God, these were the worst ones we've ever encountered.
Yeah.
These things, some said 300, some said 1,000. There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they were big. And they were so big, the captain said, turn the boat around.
Yeah.
So that was huge.
Yeah.
So what did you see? What were you?
Well, he was kind of like looking out into it was kind of foggy, and he just saw something sitting out in there. And he's like, "What is that?" And then it started kind of moving and looked a bit uneasy. He's like, turned the boat around, and when they started to turn, it started coming towards them.
Right.
And that's when he's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, there was a few swearing.
There was a lot of swearing. I don't blame them. If I saw something like that, there would be a lot of swearing as well.
And a big round of applause, yes. Woo! A big round of applause for the crew of the Marine Sulphur. Weren't they incredible? Weren't they amazing? With very clear warners to stay out of the sea. Get out of the sea! Okay, let's rewind to 1872 because this one is a classic, the Mary Celeste. It set sail from New York heading to Italy. There are 10 people on board or thereabouts. There's captain, there's crew, there's families. Nothing unusual. Then weeks later, another ship finds her drifting in the Atlantic. The ship? Totally fine. Sails up, cargo untouched, food, water, personal belongings, all still there, but there was no crew on board. Every single one of them were gone. There was no signs of a fight, no blood, no damage, no storm reported, just one thing missing, the lifeboat. So whatever happened, it happened fast enough that they said, nope, grabbed the boat and bailed. And people have blamed alcohol fumes, rogue waves, water sprouts, spouts. I don't know. Do you like sprouts? I don't like sprouts in my salad. Mutiny, insurance scams, you name it. But none of it fully fits because ships, well, they don't just politely wait while 10 people vanish into thin air. And on board there was a family. There was Benjamin Briggs, he was the captain, his wife Sarah, and little Sophia, their 2-year-old daughter. And they were a beautiful family, and we spoke to the spirits about what happened on their ill-fated voyage. Fascinating. So have a little listen to this.
December 1872. The Mary Celeste is found adrift, her sails full, her crew gone. No struggle, no blood, no clue. For over a century, the world has wondered what took them. Tonight, through the spirit box, we speak with Captain Briggs and his family, and they whisper of something ancient, a presence rising from the deep, waiting beneath the waves. Hello, spirits. I'd like to welcome you in to our gorgeous room. And I've got Kayla listening, I've got my little dog on the chair. My name's Dolly.
In Australia.
We're in Australia. We're in Australia, spirit. That's true. And I'd like to speak to the Mary Celeste, the people that were on board the Mary Celeste, in particular Captain Benjamin Briggs, if you wouldn't mind, sir. You were a family man, and your wife, Sarah, and was it Sophia Briggs, were also on board the Mary Celeste. And then it was abandoned way back in 1872. The Mary
Celeste.
Oh, I say. Hello. Do you like my dog? You like my dog? What do you think of my dog? This is Bugsy. He's a bit cute, isn't he? Hey, thanks for coming in. It's a long way from home. But look, your ship was found, and it has been quite a mystery for many, many years since it was found, floating by itself, with none of you on board. Okay, so it was found floating with no crew or passengers. All right, so we'd like to know what happened. The crew was Captain...
Hey, Mum.
Hello. Come and play with my dog. Is this Sophie? Well, Sophia. I think it was Sophia. Sarah, if you're here, my dog can probably see you. Yeah? And you're welcome to come and give the dog a pat. It's got a little jumper on.
Dog.
Yeah, dog. Dog. He's got a little jumper on. He can probably see you. Do you like him? It's a bit cold here. Sophia, hello, darling. I think you were 2 years old. Is that right? A big 2. You're a big girl. Now my dog can see you looking around. Aren't you? You want to come up here? Come and pat him. Come and sit beside me and pat him. So the beautiful, it was a big boat, the Mary Celeste. Benjamin, you were on board with your wife and your daughter.
On the boat.
On the boat, sailing across the seas. Where were you going? Whereabouts were you going? You were discovered by the ship De Gracia. The Mary Celeste's crew included Captain Benjamin Briggs and his family. Who else was on board with you? Spirits of the Mary Celeste, if you could come forward, I'd like to get your voice through on exactly what happened that night. There was Albert Richardson, Andrew Gilling, Edward.
Well, I was sailing.
You were sailing? Yes, you were. Who am I speaking with? Am I speaking with the captain? If I am, honoured to meet you, sir. Am I speaking with the captain of the ship?
And then aloud.
Yeah? Aloud what? What happened? It was a nice, calm night, I believe.
It was dark.
It was dark.
They looked like a person.
Did you see something frightening?
Is.
Yeah? What happened? It's one of the biggest maritime mysteries of the world, this one. That's what you've left behind, Captain. It would be great to tell people exactly what happened to you that fateful night. Now, does your little girl want to come and play with my dog? He's pretty cute. You want to come and pat him?
Sad.
Yeah. It seems like you're all together now, so that's really important. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, Sarah, their young daughter, Sophia, and 7 crew members were on board but never seen again. The ship was found in a seaworthy condition with its sails partially set. The ship's lifeboat was missing, and you folk were missing. What happened, guys? Are you able to come forward and tell us exactly what happened?
I was up late.
Yeah,
First watch
right.
on the balcony.
Yep. First watch on the balcony. What happened? Did you see something? Am I speaking with the first mate, Albert?
I ran fast.
Yeah. Why? Must have been terrifying.
Everywhere.
Oh, okay. What was everywhere?
Came out of the water.
Oh, what came out of the water? That's interesting. What was it? What came out of the water? Goodness me, how horrifying. Have you seen anything like this before? Was it a sea monster?
Not once they climbed up.
Once they climbed up. Were you attacked by people?
Mixed fear.
I'm sure it was frightening. What did you see on the
It was dark.
Yeah. But what did you
Couldn't see.
What did you see though, darling? Or did you hear something? Can you see
I saw them. They were crawling.
Wow.
Terrifying.
What did you see crawling? Were they people? Were they pirates? Were they animals? What did you see crawling? How would you describe them? What did you see?
We'd never seen them before.
You've never seen them before. Describe them. What did they look like? It sounds like they weren't human. Is that correct? Did you all see them? What did you see, spirits? Tell us what you saw. I'll believe you, I promise.
Thanks.
Absolutely, we'll believe you and tell your story with no judgment.
They were like animals.
Okay, good. So like,
Only sicker.
oh goodness me. Oh, this is terrifying. Oh, I've got the chills just thinking about it. Only sicker. Were they menacing? They have teeth?
Yes.
Did they have teeth? Like,
We were shouting.
so you all saw these monsters. It wasn't just one of you. There was all of you that saw these monsters. Is that right? And did they come out of the water? I'm not judging because I speak to spirits, so I believe you.
They were crawling.
How many were there?
6, 8, 2, 20.
Lots. So it was dark and it was a bit hard to see anyway. Is that right? Did they crawl out of the water and get onto the boat?
That's right.
Because it was very rushed and you had no chance to get any food, to get any maps, to get any equipment. You just had to all get together. Is that correct? Were you able to all get together?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So you all got together. But did you all just get into that lifeboat?
We lost Chris.
You lost Chris. Okay.
And
Yeah. Keep going. You're doing so well. You're so brave.
suddenly we made it.
You made it on into the lifeboat, but you lost Chris, one of your crew member.
We got on the lifeboat.
You're on the lifeboat. Okay.
By the time,
Yeah. Oh my stars! What an awful night. You had no time to get anything. Everything was left behind.
Mum, I'm scared.
It's okay, darling. Oh, sweetie. You go and play with my dog. It's okay. We're not going to take you back to that place, darling. It's all right, gorgeous. You go and play with my little doggy. You'll know that you're going to be okay. Yeah? Why don't you go and pull his tail? Hey, sweetie, don't be scared. Mum, it's okay. We just want to get your story.
We all paddled.
Okay. So you all paddled away from the boat? Away from the Mary Celeste? Were they chasing you?
Then it started to break.
What started to break? The lifeboat? You're all paddling to get away from the Mary Celeste? From the ship?
We couldn't steer.
Okay.
We were stuck.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have time to get anything, did you? You just all jumped into the little lifeboat.
We were freezing.
Yeah. And no food?
I said to Sarah.
You said to Sarah. Oh, God bless you. Yes, Benjamin. What did you say to Sarah?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Be safe.
So you were freezing, you were holding each other?
It was really cold.
Yeah. Freezing, holding each
Her poor dress.
Oh, you're only having a dress. You only wore your dress, Sarah. You had no time to change, no time to get warm clothes on. Did these creatures follow you?
At least you can.
Yeah, at least I can. Oh, well, I'm not in a boat. I don't like boats. Oh, were the creatures following you in the lifeboat? Is your little girl okay? She's not too scared.
Sarah
Yeah. Sarah, is your little girl okay?
wobbled.
Yeah.
Fell in.
Oh,
That made.
yeah. Yeah.
See, we were crying.
Yeah. Sarah fell into the water first, Spirit, and she couldn't get back into the boat?
Yep.
Okay. Did you try and get her back in, Benjamin?
The mum jumped.
Okay.
It was important too.
I'm listening.
She was a little girl.
Yeah. Just a little girl. She was only a bubba, wasn't she?
We know, sweetheart.
Yeah. It's all right, darling. I'm not gonna hurt you. Okay? I'm just listening to your big night on the water.
The way they posed, this was
This was somewhat
just some weird.
weird. Very, very weird. You've obviously come to terms with it, and that's good. That's a good thing. Your family's all still together now, and that's a great thing. So you were stuck on that lifeboat. You had no food. You had no warmth. You just had each other, and eventually, so Sarah fell into the water.
Transport the bodies.
Did you succumb to the ocean? Did you all drown in the ocean?
We were confident that we could finish them.
You were confident that you were what, Spirit? I think there was lots of stormy weather happening and you had no chance in that lifeboat. Is that correct?
We grabbed the poles.
Yeah? You were all paddling.
Underwater.
How did you eventually all die? What would you say was your cause of death, Spirits?
Please don't jump in the water.
Trying to stop Sarah going in and...
Just so they don't. They plan to. Families.
Yeah? Families?
Hold, for God's sake.
Going through their moment of passing. You were trying to hold on to each other and help each other. You didn't want to go into the water. It was too cold. You're trying to help each other, Spirits. Hold. Yeah.
Thank heavens.
Was the weather just too rough? Too treacherous, the weather?
See, listen. Look after you.
Are you okay, Sarah? Are you with your other boy now? And your girl?
Father.
Yeah, Sophia. You're a brave girl. Andrew Gilling.
They communicate by humming.
Do they? They communicate by humming. What are these creatures? What would you call them?
It's like magic.
Like magic? Yeah. You've never seen anything like this before?
No.
I bet. I bet you never want to see
They
it.
were starving.
It was starving. Was it a sea creature?
Storm. They must have been.
So the first mate saw this on his watch on the balcony, saw this whole group of sea creatures coming. They were hungry. Did they want to eat you? Did they want to attack you?
Broadly. From the east.
Must have been absolutely terrifying. Middle of the night, being attacked by something you've never seen before that gets onto the boat and starts attacking you. You all manage to get into the lifeboat. It's freezing cold. Wow. This would have did it happen really quickly? I bet it didn't. Bet it didn't feel like it. You can't.
The bodies.
Yeah. There was Albert on board, Andrew, Gilling, Edward, Head, Volkert, Lawrenson.
Lost.
Arian Martins.
Within the storms.
Okay. Yeah. Little lifeboat was just lost. No steering. I have no doubt that we have connected with the captain and the crew, telling us a horrific story of an attack by something out of this world. Let's face it. So how long were you drifting, spirits, in the lifeboat? Do you recall?
Squeezed.
How long were you drifting in your lifeboat for? Poor Sarah fell in.
Since dark.
Yeah. What happened to the lifeboat? 2 or 3 days. And then what happened? Are you able to tell me, or it doesn't matter?
Minutes. At least. Not long.
Very fast.
The motion.
Right.
Rocking. Sarah fell.
Did you go in after her? Did you try and save her?
Certainly.
You seem like quite a gentleman. You both got stuck in the ocean then, did you? Is that what happened? You just both drowned, is that right?
Within time.
Yeah. Well, it was beautiful that you tried to save your family and Sarah and your crew, and you should be proud of the fact that you died trying to save everybody. Is that right?
They were going.
They were gone. So if somebody asked me what happened, what happened to the crew and the family on board the Mary Celeste, I will tell them that something out of this world from the sea took them and scared them. Is that correct, Spirit?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Something really crazy. Boy, I bet you weren't expecting that, huh? Well, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and I'm so sorry your little baby got terrified, and you were all terrified, and I'm really
All the others.
And all the others, and I'm so sorry that happened to you, spirits. But you've got your voice through, you've told me, and I plan to tell people as well. Is that okay? You happy with that, Spirit? Is that okay? I want to thank you for coming into Australia and chatting with me and Kayla and my dog, Bugsy. And I want to give you all a big warm hug because I think you're probably still cold. Is that right?
About time.
I want to give you all a big hug. I think you're all a bit still cold. Yeah? It was certainly something that couldn't be explained.
That covers it.
That covers it. Certainly something.
See ya.
Thank you very much for coming in, spirits. We love you. Big hugs to your little girl and to Sophia and Sarah and all of you for coming and being so brave and getting your voice through. Thank you so much. We love you. Goodbye.
It's in the stars.
It's in the stars.
So we've been told.
So you've been told. Good sense of humour. I like you.
Okay, now we go to the little Aussie mystery, the Kaz II. 12-metre yacht sailing off the coast of Queensland, only in 2007, not that long ago.
In April 2007, off the sun-drenched coast of Queensland, a modern catamaran named Kaz II was found. Engine running, a meal laid out, everything in its place. But the 3 men on board were gone, vanished. The official story speaks of freak accidents, of the sea claiming its own. But what if the truth lies deeper? What if, in the cold embrace of the abyss, we can hear echoes of what truly pulled them under. Not the wind, not the waves, not human error, but something ancient, something hungry. Tonight, we listen to the spirits of the Kaz II, and they have a different story to tell, a story of the deep and the creature that dwells within. I need to speak to the crew members of the Kaz II, the catamaran that was sailing by itself back on the 15th of April 2007. We never found you, gentlemen. We're looking for Derek, Peter, and James. Could you come forward and speak with beautiful Kayla?
Oh, okay.
No, you got it now. Okay. My name's Dolly. Thank you for coming in. Gentlemen, we need answers.
Dolly.
Hello. Hello. That's me.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Nice and strong. That's it, guys. Well done. We need to know what happened. What happened to you, my darlings? Are you able to speak your truth?
I moved the sail.
You moved the sail. I'm listening. Did the mast hit you? What happened? What happened then? You moved the sail. Take us back through the day or the night.
I see this.
Now, I'm not going to judge you on what happened. I've heard a lot of stories.
Newspaper?
You saw this newspaper. What did you see? What happened? You were retired. You were quite familiar with sailing.
I see. 12. How do I describe this?
Any way you want, my darling. I've heard it all before. Sounds like we've got something very unusual happening on board the Kaz II. You moved the sail, and what did you see?
Freeze. There was. I tried to do something.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah. The boat was bound for Townsville. It was found drifting near the Great Barrier Reef. Beautiful part of the world.
They were fishes?
There were fishes.
Terrifying.
Okay. Keep going, guys. This is sounds like a Mary Celeste story.
It's called Non.
It's called what?
The thing, they were so pale.
Were you attacked by something out of this world?
It's difficult.
I know it's difficult to explain, but I'm all ears. I'm all ears, gentlemen.
They seem like fishes.
Right. Okay.
Except with bodies.
Wow. How terrifying.
We go back and have a chat.
Yeah.
Drag them down.
Wow. Dragged you down. Now, the boat, I think, was found with shredded sails, with a shredded sail. Did this happen at night time or daytime? When did this happen, and did you all see it?
It was terrible.
Yeah. Bit hard to explain because I think that you're still terrified by what you saw. Is that right?
I shouted instructions.
Yeah.
They tried to.
Did you were they getting onto the boat? How did they communicate with each other? It feels like you are under attack.
It's not normal.
No, it doesn't sound very normal, my darlings, and I believe every word you say, okay? Trust me, I believe everything you say.
3 days in.
Just 3 days into your beautiful trip, yeah? To the great...
Natural body rhythms?
Natural body rhythms.
The beasts.
Okay. This is, now this is...
They were crawling about.
They were crawling about? It's only like 2007. Spirits, I actually spoke with the Mary Celeste, the crew, and they described something very similar. They were terrified and they were being attacked by something that came out of the water. Is that right? Sounds very similar to your story.
People everywhere.
So did these creatures look human?
They were aboard. The things are panicking about. 14 victims.
Did they look human to you? Are you able to say your name to Kayla? I know you're trying to get your voice through. You were all from Perth. The boat was found with the engine still running. It just reeks Mary Celeste, doesn't it? A laptop computer was switched on. There was food that was laid out. Life jackets were present.
There was clarity. They were on board.
They were on board. It was almost like an ambush, was it?
The nerve. They had differences.
What kind of differences, darling? They seemed like fishes, but they were human.
Structure.
There was structure amongst them. Okay. Sounds like there was quite a few.
Strangers. Gently. They disembarked.
And then what happened to you? Were you pulled overboard? What happened? Did you try fighting whatever came on? What happened, gentlemen?
Ran to the platform. Then.
So it feels like they were trying to find, looking where they'd gone. Is that right? You were trying to see where they were? Goodness me, how terrifying, gentlemen. Absolutely terrifying for you. What happened then? You went to the platform, you
The
tried... The final what, darling?
they get ya.
Did they have teeth? How did they get you? I know this is really hard to speak about, and I'm really sorry for what happened. How did they get you, mate? How did they get you?
They pull
They pull? Yeah. I'm sorry to take you through.
you down,
They pull you down. Into the water?
down deep.
Are you able to tell me what happened then? Or did you pass out? Are you able to kind of look at your body and see what happened?
And drown.
And drown. Your bodies were never found. You know that. They searched a long time for you, gentlemen.
Unusual.
Well, you could say that again. I mean, a helicopter spotted your boat floating by itself near the reef, and authorities then boarded...
They find?
Yeah. They found your boat, and then authorities then boarded the vessel and saw there was no crew, and then they sent out search parties, and I think they searched the islands, and they couldn't find any trace of you whatsoever. There was a huge search. So you were well loved, gentlemen, and you were well missed. Is there anything you want to tell your family, my darlings? Because I'm going to put this on a video. What would you like to tell your families that you left behind? So they were attacked and then pulled down and then drowned.
Please.
Please? Yeah?
Grow them up. Ready for the world.
Please be ready for the world. That's a very good message. Great message. Amazing. Are you able to just confirm your names, darlings? You were all great,
You
mate.
should have told me.
Just say your name if you wouldn't mind, or one of you. Is one of you able to step
They
forward?
didn't sing.
They didn't sing.
Not the same. Didn't sound any remnants.
Well, they didn't find any remnants of your body. So I am speaking with Peter and Jim. Can you just confirm the name of your boat to Kayla, just so people believe me? Because I know you're here, but there are some that won't believe this story. Can you just confirm?
I'll never forget their calls.
Their calls. Okay. Terrifying, was it?
The terrors.
So these creatures were calling each other and screaming at each other. Creatures from the deep ocean. I mean, they said that some people accused the three of them of staging their own disappearance for insurance purposes, but this clearly wasn't what happened.
Lying on his face.
So Peter Tunson and Jim Tunstead were brothers, retired and great mates with Des. Just wanted to go on a nice trip up the Great Barrier Reef to Townsville.
Yes.
And then you were having a lovely trip, only 3 days in. And then
We were devastated.
because you were so looking forward to this trip, weren't you, darlings? You were just retired, really, enjoying life. You had bought 3 cartons of beer or something. What kind of beer were you going to drink, my darlings? Good old 4X? Hey? That's a Queensland beer, isn't it? The old 4X. Did you have some of those on board? No, you weren't drinking when this happened, were you? You were just sailing? You weren't expecting this, were you, fellas?
We didn't think who.
You probably didn't think that I believe you, but I do believe you. And that's why I never sail or go on boats. It's a big ocean out there, isn't it, my darlings? Because you were fishermen as well, weren't you? Were you fishing when this happened? If there's anything you want to tell me, anything else, please do, my darlings.
Tremendous drop-off.
What can I tell your family and friends that you've left behind? What can I tell them?
Why? Why they exist.
Why do they exist? They're not man-made, though, are they? They're out of this world? Would you call them aliens? They're still terrified about what happened to them. Very much so. Been pretty hard for them to actually describe it to me because I think they're still in disbelief that it happened to them and what they saw. What they saw was just something they've never seen before, something that we've never seen before, and it feels like they still don't believe it happened. Is that right, gentlemen?
I actually believed.
Oh, did you? Would you call them monsters of the sea? And you're getting really close to me, darling, and you're trying to give me that visual. But if you can use your words, I can't get that visual. I'm sorry. I need your words. Would you call them monsters of the sea?
Without a doubt.
Okay, great. I know you just tried to give me a visual then because my head was like going, oh. But yeah, if you can just give your words, darling. Are you guys okay now? Are you in a good place? Monsters of the sea, got them. Just exactly what happened to the Mary Celeste. Moral of the story is don't go sailing. I mean, it's such a big ocean, isn't it? Well, the ocean is big. And who knows what lurks in the deep. But these gentlemen certainly met these ferocious kind of aliens that just came out of the water and attacked them and then dragged them down. I think they're fading, hey? All right, gentlemen, I'm going to let you know because I feel like you're fading. We're going to send you back to the light, yeah? And I'd like to thank you very much for having a chat, and I'm going to let people know what happened to you, all right? Is that okay? Des, Peter and Jim?
Very.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll let you go now. And thank you for letting me know what happened to you. I feel like they're fading fast.
I'll leave you be.
We'll leave you be. God bless you, my darlings.
See ya.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And if you're listening to this story, have a beer for our beautiful men that survived such a horrific ending while they were just sailing as mates on a catamaran, enjoying the Great Barrier Reef.
Well, there you go. It's been a bit of a crazy whack-a-mole kind of a session, hasn't it? There, out in the ocean, in the deep blue. Big round of applause to Kayla for having a little listen. Oh, I like that sound. Isn't she fantastic? And you know what? Those of you that say, oh, Dolly, you're just barking orders, you don't wait for the spirits to speak. I do actually. It's all in the video edit. I'm sorry about that. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification button. If you don't hit that notification button, guess what? You don't get to know all the videos that I'm chucking out there into the YouTube universe. But for my podcast diehard listeners like Bella, love you guys. Merry Christmas and stay off the water. All right, that's it. Bye. Hello there. Would love to meet you in person. So here's the thing. Why don't you book a ticket at one of our paranormal investigations? I know. Crazy idea, right? But I really would love to meet you in person, and possibly that's the only way we're going to be able to do it, all right? So head on over to kynetonparanormal.com.au. We have, about 10 venues scattered throughout Victoria, Australia, and possibly it's a really great way for us to all get together and for me to introduce you to the beautiful spirits that we talk about on our podcast. So do yourself a favour. Thanks so much. Bye.